playing against Zetterburn, something that we've seen time and time again, right? Something that a lot of people had a lot of time to really find their footing with, right? Their flow charts. Absa, not so much, right? Much newer of a character. The way how you want to play the matchup changes quite a bit with how strong floor hugging can be in this game, with how strong Absa's ways to deal with floor hugging can be in this game. And I'm really interested to see just how Envelop and Concept of Death play against one another, because Concept of Death doesn't really play the correct option, just plays the option that works in the moment.
Right. That'll be interesting too. I don't even feel like I've even seen this matchup in this game yet. Honestly, it's how little it's really seen. So I'm like just tuned in learning right now. You feel me on this matchup?
Yeah, honestly, I get that, right? I don't think that I've actually seen this matchup very much in this game in particular.
Yes,
but I can only imagine it being extremely volatile, right? Absa versus Wrastor in the first game was one of those matchups where if a single hit comes in from either one of them, the stock's gone, right? It's just a matter of getting that one hit to begin with. And Wrastor has some pretty big hitboxes in the air. Absa, pretty big ones on the ground.
Yeah, it'll definitely just be... It sounds like a fight between just, you know, what both players are more comfortable playing in, rather than if they can force their sort of preferred neutral scenarios more often, if that makes sense.
It's gonna see where we end up. Is this a starter stage?
Definitely not a starter stage.
I was gonna say, hold on.
It's a little different. Gentleman starter counter pick? Hell yeah, dude.
You know, Fire Capital used to be a starter stage.
Really?
Yeah, there was a long time ago in Rivals 1, back in 2018, where Fire Capital was a starter stage. Rockwall was a starter stage.
Oh, I love that. That's chaos.
I think Endless Abyss was also a starter stage. Tower of Heaven was a starter stage. No one had a problem with Tower of Heaven.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think Tempest might have been a starter stage. Wow. I don't know. There was a lot going on. We changed that one quite a bit, but right now we're going to be changing up the movesets and the match. It's going to be Absa v Wrastor. Concept of Death versus Envelop.
Yes, definitely the starter that I expect this match to be playing on right here, right?
Yeah, extremely neutral, but extremely big read early on from Envelop.
Paid off a lot too. Already a lot of percent built on Concept of Death, rather. I love calling out the upbeats already, dude. Saying you can't get those for free. Definitely very important to just state that out. I feel like your situation though.
Oof.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, definitely can't get any of those for free. You can see just how much Envelop just looking for each and every one of these hits though. And in the end, they're gonna be able to take that.
Definitely. I was gonna point out though that it worked out for them. That's a stock though, but I think it was a situation where it was scary because you did get Absa to a percent where like this kill confirms from Wrastor will stop working, which he can sort of struggle in those situations. So I'm definitely curious to see how that sort of comes into play later.
Yeah, the classic Martharitis. You always got to be so careful with Wrastor to understand your kill confirms, not just the damage options.
Yes, very much so, for sure. Especially in a character like Absa too, definitely really different than a lot of the cast, right?
Yeah, lightweight floaty. We actually got one of these.
Try to jump the clap too. Wake up scrawl. Probably did that. Yeah, DI for the Concept Death is very consistent, dude. It's so good, but won't live that second one purple screen. 3-1 right now.
3-1. Envelop extremely hard working, gonna be able to get those scraws coming in clutch, but the cloud all the way from downtown gonna be able to snipe that bird right out of the sky.
Yeah, Concept Death putting so much work off of these cloud snipes, dude. So good for their offstage presence. Their onstage presence is pretty solid right now. Bubble forward tilts, but again, it seems like the Envelop, dude, very comfortable in the air and is forcing the situations where they're catching Concept Death trying to get in the air as well.
Yeah, but went all the way down towards that blast zone. Now could be in trouble here. Looking for the back air, looking for some sort of opportunity to get back into control. All of a sudden, Back throw,
yeah.
clap, there it is.
Yeah, definitely good awareness. You were saying awareness of those co-confirms, super, super important. And we just saw that right there from Env3lop.
I gotta say, Blackmore.
What's up?
I'm genuinely confused. Who sent this person to losers?
I'm not sure, actually.
Like, Env3lop is playing out of their minds. It's honestly baffling.
Triforce, I see. Interesting. Triforce and Env3lop to losers. Yeah, definitely very good Forza player. They'll see more of them later. Right now, still constant depth with Env3lop. Again, very good stage for Absa. We were talking a little bit about that earlier, right?
Yeah, very good stage. Able to get your opponent off stage on repeat, able to continue to pressure from each and every angle, especially with so many zip opportunities. One sweet spot, not going to lead into a second though.
Super scary situation right there. Like, it's also a situation where I think Wrastor can also benefit from the stage for similar reasons, but sometimes, dude, I feel like slightly more of Absa stage, I think about it, like, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you still got the Fortnite, not going to be able to kill it, even 102%. Almost certain that wasn't the sweet spot, but down strong, gonna be able to do it.
Tip of the toes in right there, but barely hitting that, but still Rex out for ConceptOfDe4th, taking that first stock. The lead can be mean quite a lot. Get up attack, hidden. Oh, barely missed that clap though. It's unfortunate too. Could even that up immediately. Now you get a little more room for ConceptOfDe4th to come back in this situation and just build up more extra credit rather.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time at least, praising just how good Env3lop's play was, but right now, it's a matter of keeping things even. Up till going to be able to take that stock, but TheConceptOfDe4th, no!
Oh, it's so rough to see the missed inputs always. Never great to see, especially to lead to Cybe getting parried. It looked like it may snowball a bit. You gotta just shake that off a bit. Shake off that frustration a little bit, Keep calm if you want to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's a check PayPal moment right there. ConceptOfDe4th not in a very good position here. Looks for a girlfriend combo, but not going to be able to finish. And in the end, it's a matter of running away with this one. Env3lop not going to be taken out by that up air.
Yeah, still staying alive too, dude. Env3lop, great spot after that. Unfortunate SD. For their sweet spot, we'll take it. So definitely is doing for ConceptOfDe4th again. 90%. I was going to say still in that kill confirm window. I'm not too sure anymore.
SpaceX? Oh my god, we got 4 of them. All like that. And once again, ConceptOfDe4th and Env3lop just toe to toe, blow for blow. And honestly, one of the things you got to make note of when it comes to SDs is sometimes your opponent ends up getting more mixed up than you are.
That's true.
There's that marthritis coming through that you were talking about, Blackmore.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation where, again, none of the kill corners will really do it. Maybe try to get a DI mix right here, potentially do it as well, or just a straight hit edge guard scenario and trying to hunt for it, but ConceptOfDe4th's not giving it for easily. As we're saying that, though, the back throw, bad DI. Not even bad DI, but I think it was a slipstream there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay DI, but slipstream makes it bad,
Yes. Very true, very true. Super important. Again, as we were saying earlier, dude, just great just play around that slipstream, knowing their win conditions right there, and just back them right there. Super, super smart level up right there. Go up 2 games to 0 right now.
Yeah, but I will say, ConceptOfDe4th going back to this stage, 150% agree with, right? If it wasn't for that SD, if it wasn't for that one swift change in momentum, that was ConceptOfDe4th's game to lose. And all of a sudden, hold on, we might be getting Env3lop, getting that full download in.
Potentially, dude, a big combo start that out with. Let's see if they can finish their food a little bit. That's been a sort of constant theme. But Env3lop, not too worried about that in that regard. Always good at doing that from what we've seen so far.
Oof. Yeah, there's that back throw into that F clap. We've seen time and time again coming in from Env3lop. I was almost certain to see an up tilt, but instead it's just that up clap. Immediately going to be able to take that stock, and there's no SD needed here. This is already a big lead for the Wrastor.
A big lead indeed right there. Caught air dodge, did not catch anything off it though. Then ConceptOfDe4th to land a little bit, take advantage of the center stage. But again, the patience coming out from Env3lop, always mixing these folks up, dude.
Always going to be able to mix them up, but in the end, It's a matter of actually getting that big hit. One forward air, one back air, one up air. Really, any aerial coming in from Concept of Death could turn things right around. But Envelop just holding on to these leads. It's not just against the fire characters.
Not at all. The pack air confirm will take it out of Concept of Death. Evens out the stocks, but not quite the percent, so has a little bit more work to do on that front. Gets punished, but no sweet spot on that up B, unfortunately, for Envelop.
No sweet spot, looking for that up clap, and all of a sudden Envelop starting to swing a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely seeing them play a bit more aggressively. Unsure if it'll be ultimately to their detriment or their advantage. It's kind of hard to tell. So these scramble scenarios happening so often. A little scary above you.
Yeah, a little scary to say the least.
Bro kind of chased a little bit. Great air maneuver from Concept of Death though. Managed to land. Yeah, the back throw out, but now you're off stage. But no, just gets right back.
A reverse bear not gonna connect. Wow. Beautiful cloud pop for the stall. All of a sudden, so one up air to start things off. Concept of Death gonna look to keep this Wrastor from landing.
That playing so smart with that. Just cloud pop right there to stay alive. I was surprised the down special didn't hit right there, but just a little bit off. And now the situation with Concept of Death clawed their way back in pretty much. Basically even percents right now if we really think about it.
Yeah, and just like that, up air gonna be able to take Envelop off the top. But one F tilt, one up air. Fortnite not gonna connect with a sweet hit. And just like that, the chicken dinner stays too far away.
I'm surprised the lightning line attempt, by the way, got me very scared, but not much of a punch coming out from it though. Only 11% extra credit, super doable for your Concept of Death still if you want to stay alive in this bracket.
Yeah, but the one thing noting there is that they're both at low percents. Now Envelop has an opportunity to look for some of these crazy Wrastor confirms as per usual, so you have to be so careful as the Concept of Death. You cannot get complacent.
Like you see Concept of Death becoming so defensive right when they saw that side B out situation, but did not want to deal with that at all. No jump slam. Got scared though, backed off. I don't know about that anti.
Yeah, I feel like just looking for that ledge hog would absolutely do it. We don't have that Bluetooth capability for those ones yet, but just like that, Concept of Death looks for a Thunderline in neutral. Akashi, is that you?
That's crazy, that hit too. Soup 8, look, unexpected, dude. It works out in situations. I feel it. All of a sudden, again, super close. Concept of Death have the better side of the advantage state. Though side B is up, worth noting. On the side of Envelop. Super scary, has him off stage. So you think do something about it. Makes it back though.
Yeah, another one of those aggressive upbees and not gonna be able to get the clap. This is exactly where the Concept of Death wants to be as far as percent goes, but not in terms of control. But there's the down strong, there's the tech chase, there's life yet for Concept of Death.
Oh, there is light. There is light as well. That tunnel was looking pretty far. Fortunately for them, though, managed to get to it, but very scary situations right there, especially with that the backing off from those ledge scenario right there. Sometimes you do got to go keep in mind those ledge scenarios, especially those 10 scenarios where people are more likely to make mistakes off the ledge, right? So it's definitely was really scary seeing that, but fortunately for them, still works out well. Going to Air Armada though, not super well here on the side of Concept of Death. I feel like it's a really messed up Wrastor stage.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hella messed up one. This was one of those stages that Absa definitely didn't mind in the first game, but that was back when she could wall jump off of her up B, right? This game, you have to go for those ledges. You have to go for those very specific spots there. And I honestly don't know how much she can make use of these platforms.
Yeah, definitely a much better spot for Envelop to extend these combos, such like that. So I'll see how much factor it comes into play. The anti-air come out from Concept of Death, though controlling the air a bit more. I like to see that adjustment coming in here in this game.
Yeah, but as the game continues, we're seeing a few of these hard reads coming in from Envelop that we weren't seeing in some of these earlier games. Might be a little bit flustered after that last game here. Concept of Death starting to run away with this one. Up air, no sweet spot, thankfully, for the Wrastor. But you can see Absa's getting closer and closer to finding those kills.
Yeah, TheConceptOfDe4th definitely
Clap?
playing a lot more confident right now. It's a big thing right now. And Env3lop is definitely his job now to just sort of try to quell it as soon as possible. So let's say that though, the up air will take that stock right there, taking this early lead.
Early lead taken, and all of a sudden the counter pick doesn't seem to be working out for Env3lop. Down tilt, not gonna connect into much more.
Much right situation, maybe. It feels like it's happened so fast against Absa too.
Yeah, I mean, it's times like these where you hope to God that your opponent just breathes on your shield wrong and you get to just up B them straight out of shield, but in the end, you know, it's a matter of actually finding that one big confirm, that one big hit. And just as we were talking about way earlier, Blackmark, it's so difficult to get these confirms on deck on a character that's as new as Absa.
Yeah, it takes a while to just lab those out. I imagine not a lot of people have really just figured that out in general. Forward tilt, up air, forward tilt 1 makes it a good comp strike for the air too. Getting that stock right there, it's looking like it may snowball even further in TheConceptOfDe4th's favor. Env3lop still not able to find that stock. And I say F2 will eventually kill the top, but super unfortunate to your whole stock up now against Env3lop.
And you can see it right here. TheConceptOfDe4th just slowly running away with this one. Just chip damage after chip damage. And this is exactly what we love to see from TheConceptOfDe4th. Just those constant aggressive upbees that we know their Absa loves to do.
Dude, yeah, there's so many. They're just going unchecked. It's hard to check, right? It's so fast too, especially when they're mixing up as much as they are. Nearly gonna kill off the top. Very scary situation. Super good spot for TheConceptOfDe4th to be in though.
Super good spot here. We're seeing that, you know, he's just continuing with these upbeats, with these dash attacks, with these chip hits every now and then. 84%. Honestly, I think that one F tilt up air will absolutely do it. The raw up air nearly managed to do so.
Really does, yeah. Not quite though. Tech chase off of that. Ooh. Love that. Sour spot.
Sour spot.
Not quite killing, but still very good spot. Wrong direction on that grab, but 170% on the extra credit anyway. So the clap off the top is still not the most scary thing if you're TheConceptOfDe4th though, but definitely be careful because you know the Rastors can't come back from this.
Yeah, but one down strong gonna take it. That's absolutely going to be that stock, be that game, be that usher into game 5. Extremely difficult to DI that one.
Very hard, especially that high percent, dude. It's tough for sure. And now, on the verge of potentially is there a reverse 3-0? I think it is. It would be.
It would be a reverse 3-0, yeah.
Yeah. So all the momentum on TheConceptOfDe4th's side, Env3lop going fire capital, maybe try to slow that down a little bit, slow the pace down. Because again, TheConceptOfDe4th with momentum definitely been really scary to play against.
Yeah, definitely scary to play against. And honestly, I think that this stage pick is a little bit of a mistake here. Env3lop just has been struggling to get these kills onto TheConceptOfDe4th, and one of the things that Absa has always had is the ability to kill her opponents. It doesn't really matter what stage she's on, it'll happen, especially against the lightweights.
Definitely. I think I've just been surprised we haven't seen from Env3lop is like the down throw tech chase with upbeat situations. I feel like that could be a really just big thing to just sort of pull out, especially if you get them to like a super high percent, but no such thing we're seeing so far.
Yeah, so far it's always been going for the 50-50 with that back throw, but there's no other option. It's not a 50-50, it's 100-0.
Basically, right? You gotta keep mixing people up, dude. You can't do the same thing because it leaves room for them to counterplay your character. And a big kind of piece of counterplay against Wrastor is that, you know, again, high percent he cancel that on right, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but right now, Downstrong going to be able to put Env3lop into a rougher position. You know, about 20% more, that should be F tilt up air territory. And all of a sudden, TheConceptOfDe4th slowly trying to bring Env3lop into that blast zone.
Dude, it just feels like TheConceptOfDe4th have such a much better sense of control against Env3lop over these last couple of games right now, though. Env3lop keeping them juggle a little bit. It's the kills that matter the most, dude, and Env3lop kind of struggle to get those a little bit in this game. It's match, rather. I mean, it potentially could be like, you know, a match on familiarity thing, right? Oh, wow, super risky. Definitely coming to the lightning line raw like that, bro. You gotta be careful, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Akashi lines time and time again coming in the first game, but they're not like that, right? You're in the air. You're able to put yourself in a position where even if it gets parried, it's fine. It's not just something you can throw out however you want. And there's that down throw that we were talking about earlier.
Oh man, it's so scary because the situation now where it's just like that one mistake kind of cost this whole lead to sort of just fall apart for TheConceptOfDe4th. Up air will do it rather, but 69% extra credit, dude. Not amazing. I think it's still a window where you can get the confirms if you're Wrastor, if I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can still definitely go for those confirms. You have until around 90% to really get out of the down tilt F clap sort of deals, but almost hitting those limits here, and all of a sudden Env3lop in a rough spot.
How funny is a rough spot? Despite being such a high percent, having them at a higher percent, rather, definitely love to see just more options. Again, these kills, Tech Chase could have done it. No up B though, just 4 throws to get them off the side of the stage. But I mean, TheConceptOfDe4th have shown that they won't be edge guarded that easily, right? So you definitely just have to sort of re-sneak with that bag of tricks. You want to do it.
Yeah, I'm almost certain we're going to be seeing that back throw F clap sooner rather than later. But right there, TheConceptOfDe4th understands, looks for that F tilt, looks for that fair, looks for one more up air opportunity. A sweet spot up air would do it after an F tilt here.
Yeah, also love, by the way, these F tilt 2s for TheConceptOfDe4th. Instead of staying unpunished, you just like may as well do it again. Keep another thing on. Env3lop's constantly developing mental stack right now.
Yeah, and once again, another one of those aggressive zips. It's just so common coming in from TheConceptOfDe4th. And there's so many things you have to pay attention to as Env3lop.
Oh yeah, dude. Again, the mental stack aspect of things definitely goes into play. That was kind of crazy. 4 strong just ran right into that on the side of Env3lop. As we were saying, bro, the mental exhaustion from all these situations didn't come into play. But at the same time, though, Env3lop, fresh stocks in that last stock, game 5 scenario. What's more, Anti?
Yeah, 4 minutes in, 0 to 0%. Last stock, loser's side life on the line here. Down throw coming in from TheConceptOfDe4th. Not going to be able to turn that into much more, but still hasn't taken a single percent on this GOAT. Env3lop right now gets that one big hit to start things off. Now off stage into a terrible position. No jumps remaining. Able to get back on stage though.
So surprised with the cloud pop right there. Could have been huge if they got that, but Env3lop gets right back though. Relatively even scenario once more.
Yeah, relatively even up throw to start it off. The Slipstream's not in the position where they want it, so that way it wouldn't turn into much more as far as the kills go. But once again, one down tilt, one back throw, one big opening could do it. But it's so difficult on this stage.
Yeah, super difficult. These hard blast ones make it so hard to even get as well. Again, I feel like the more this game slows down, by the way, the more it's on TheConceptOfDe4th's favor because this poke is doing more and more damage, making it easier to eventually get the killing blow. Oh, and Env3lop does not go anything off that down tilt though, kind of crucial.
Yeah, TheConceptOfDe4th right now in one of the most terrifying positions as the Absa. You know that your opponent needs you to be, about 110%-ish if you want to avoid that death, but right now, Env3lop still able to survive a little bit longer.
I'll just see for how much longer though. Again, so much more chip damage. Can be advantage center stage. I say that though, gives it up a little bit right there. Still staying comfortable in the neutral against Env3lop. Gets him off stage. Oh man, you see Env3lop so scared to make any sudden movements. Trying to parry the 4-2s. I like the adjustment, but you gotta hit those if you're gonna get them, dude.
Yeah, Blackamar, there's 2 minutes left. Oh my god, the Kashi line not going to quite work out. But the down strong from downtown, another dash thrown in from TheConceptOfDe4th, and the run up down strong to catch the landing. It was saved for the game 5, but it comes in raw, and TheConceptOfDe4th cooked it just right to take the set.
Dude, yeah, that was so sick. Again, I'm just pointing out, dude, saving these sort of crazier plays for these later scenarios in the set too. super smart, kind of risky, but again, very smart to let's just sort of save that for just a crucial scenario like that. Saw that situation they were waiting for and capitalized on that with that option they were thinking of, saving the back of their mind that whole time. Love seeing that from Concept of Death as they moving on to losers finals. It's up to Env3lop